Good morning students, this is your teacher Neelam Elawat and today we'll start with our next chapter, that is body fluids and circulation. And this is our lecture 1 students. I hope you remember that all living beings have to be provided with nutrients, isn't it? All organisms, they require food, oxygen and other essential substances. And also the waste materials have also to be removed. Therefore, we always need a system through which there is a movement of these substances. Right, everyone? Yes, and that is why we talk about the body fluids and circulation. So, in this particular chapter, we will be talking about the blood. We'll be talking about the blood, the lymph. Both of them, they talk about the various you can say the tissues or the transportation system, the circulatory pathways, then is double circulation, the regulation of cardiac activity and the various disorders of the circulatory system. Okay everyone? So we will be dealing with the following topics in this particular chapter. Now let's start with the first topic, that is your blood. Now have you seen your blood, dear students? Yes, you have seen. What is the color? Exactly, it is of red color. So your blood that you see is of red color. So blood basically is a connective tissue which is composed of the fluid matrix, that is your plasma and the formed elements. So your blood basically is made up of two things. One is the plasma and second is the formed elements. Okay everyone? The second is the formed elements. So blood basically is made up of two things, plasma and the formed elements. Now as we know that the arteries, they carry the blood. So your main artery is your aorta. Now aorta further divides to form the arteries, arteries further divide to form arterioles, then they divide to form capillaries. Capillaries, they unite to form venules, then venules unite to form veins and then finally vena cava. So this is how your blood vessels, they divide and they again recombine to collect the complete blood. Right everyone? Now coming to the first component, that is the first liquid component of your blood, that is called plasma. Now plasma, dear students, it is a straw colored and it is 55% of the blood. Okay, it is straw colored and it is approximately 55% of the blood. Now what is the plasma made up of? The plasma is made up of water, that is 90% of water and 6 to 8% of the proteins. So plasma in turn is composed of two portions. One is blood, which is 90% and 6 to 8% of the proteins. The major proteins that are present in the plasma, they are fibrinogen, globulins and albumins. These three are the main categories of proteins. Right everyone? And this fibrinogen plays an important role in the blood coagulation. Globulins, they are involved in the defense mechanism, while albumin, it helps in osmotic balance. Okay everyone, this helps in osmotic balance. And apart from this, the water and the proteins, the plasma also contained small amounts of minerals like potassium, calcium, magnesium ions, bicarbonate ions, chloride ions, they are also present in plasma. And plasma also contains glucose, amino acids, lipids, etc. because these substances, they are always in moving position in the body. Apart from the factors for clotting of the blood in the plasma is an inactive form. So whatever the components of the you can say the clotting, the factors which are responsible for clotting of blood, they are in inactive form. And plasma without the clotting factor is called serum. तो अगर हम plasma में से clotting factor को निकाल देते हैं तो without clotting factors, then the plasma will be called serum. Okay. Now coming to this, we can talk about your blood can exist plasma can exist in different states. Like at 0 degrees Celsius, it will be a solid. Then from 10 to 100 degrees Celsius, it will be a liquid. Then from 100 to 1000, again a molecular form. or atomic form, and then is the plasma form. So we can talk about these different states. I hope you've heard about it, isn't it? So along with the temperature, the state of the matter also changes. Clear? Now talking about the formed elements, as I said, that blood is made up of two parts. One is plasma, another is the formed elements. So formed elements, they constitute second part of your blood, and these formed elements, first component is 45% of the blood. So formed elements, they constitute 45%. Plasma आपका कितना होता है? That is nearly 55%. So I said it earlier also that plasma will constitute 55% of the blood, and this elements, they compose 45% of the blood. So total is your 100%. Now in this, there are different kinds of cells are present: erythrocytes, leukocytes, and platelets, and these three are collectively called as formed elements. Erythrocytes, they're also called as RBC, that is red blood cells. Okay, they are most abundant cells in our blood, and they are about 5 million to 5.5 million RBCs per cubic meter of blood. इतना सारा RBC आपके blood में मौजूद होता है. ठीक है? Clear? And this RBC, it is formed in the bone marrow. ये आपके bone marrow में बनता है. Clear? And in your RBC, the adult, or you can say mature RBC, does not have any nucleus, and they are biconcave in shape, and their color is red because they are filled with hemoglobin. जो हमारे RBC हैं उनमें कोई न्यूक्लियस नहीं होता, वो बाइकॉन्केव शेप के होते हैं और उनके अंदर हीमोग्लोबिन पिगमेंट फिल होता है. क्लियर एवरीवन? And in 100 ml of blood, there is 12 to 16 grams of blood is present. ठीक है? The average lifespan of RBC is approximately 120 days. मतलब आपके RBC जो हैं वो 120 दिन तक जिंदा रहते हैं. उसके बाद they are replaced, and when they become dead, they are destroyed in the spleen. तो spleen जो है, that is a graveyard for RBC. Right? That is called a graveyard for the RBC, क्योंकि यहाँ पर RBC, पुराने RBC dead हो जाते हैं. Clear? And new RBCs, they are formed within 120 days. Okay, so continuously RBCs are being replaced. Where they are made? They are made in the bone marrow they are made in the bone marrow. In our adults, they are being made in the bone marrow, and they play a very important role in the transportation of gases. Right? So hemoglobin is present in them. They do not have any nucleus. Mature RBC does not have any nucleus. Okay, and in 100 ml of blood, there is 12 to 16 grams of hemoglobin which is present. This is hemoglobin, dear. So 100 ml of blood में 12 से 16 ग्राम hemoglobin मौजूद होता है. And what is the graveyard of RBC? Yes, spleen is called the graveyard of RBC. So this is, you can see the RBCs, right? You can see the RBCs. These are the platelets. These are white blood cells, and they constitute 45% of your blood, right? Second type of cells that are called leukocytes or WBCs. They are nucleated, but they are lesser in amount. They are less in number in comparison to RBC. RBC से इनका number जो है कम होता है. On an average, they are approximately 6,000 to 8,000 millimeter cube of blood. This much is present, right? 6,000 to 8,000 per cubic millimeter of blood. And leukocytes, they are generally short-lived, and they fight with various infecting agents. Now your WBCs, we can categorize them into two types: granulocytes and agranulocytes. There are two types of you can say WBCs. तो हम WBCs की दो कैटेगरी मान सकते हैं. One is granulocytes and second is agranulocytes. And as the name suggests, granulocytes means granules are present. See, this is a granulocyte. Certain granules are present on the surface. Agranulocytes means without granules. So these are your agranuli. So both the structures, they are shown here. These are granulocytes. These are agranulocytes. Okay. So granulocytes basically are your neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. So three types of granulocytes. while two types, lymphocytes and monocytes, they are your agranulocytes. They are your agranulocytes. Okay, and out of these, the neutrophils, they are the most abundant, you can say most abundant type of cells. They are approximately 60 to 65% of the total RBCs, and the basophils are the least. तो सबसे ज़्यादा जो है वो न्यूट्रोफिल्स होते हैं और सबसे कम जो है वो बेसोफिल्स होते हैं, राइट? क्लियर एवरीवन? सो कमिंग टू द न्यूट्रोफिल्स, एज आई टोल्ड यू, न्यूट्रोफिल्स ये हम ज़्यादातर होते हैं. दे आर अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 60 to 65% ऑफ द टोटल WBCs present. Monocytes, they are approximately 6 to 8% of WBC. Neutrophils and monocytes, they are phagocytic in nature. So your neutrophils and your monocytes, they are both phagocytic in nature. Basophils, they secrete histamine, serotonin and heparin, and they are involved in the inflammatory reactions. Okay, they are involved in inflammatory reactions. Then is your eosinophils. They are only 2 to 3% of our WBCs, and they resist the various infections, and they are also associated with the allergic reactions. Then lymphocytes, they comprise about 20 to 25% of RBC. So lymphocyte जो हैं वो आपके 20 से 25% होते हैं WBCs में से, टोटल WBCs में से 20 से 25% आपके lymphocytes होते हैं. Now दो तरीके के lymphocytes हैं, we have discussed already that B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes, and both of them, they are responsible for the immune system. Both of them they have very important role to play in your immune system. Lastly, your platelets. Platelets, they are also called as thrombocytes. What is the another name of platelets, dear students? Thrombocytes. Okay, they are also called as thrombocytes. Okay. Now these are produced from the megakaryocytes. Okay, they are made from megakaryocytes. Okay, they are made from megakaryocytes, and these are the special megakaryocytes. They are basically the special cells which are present in the bone marrow. Okay, and they are approximately 1,50,000 you can say 50,000 to 3,50,000 platelets per millimeter cube or per cubic millimeter of blood. So you see there is a huge amount of platelets which are present in our body, right? And these platelets, they are involved in blood coagulation, right? They are involved in blood coagulation. Blood coagulation means suppose हमें कहीं पे कट लग जाता है तो हमारी बॉडी से ब्लड बाहर निकलता है, right? बाहर निकलता है तो हमारी जो प्लेटलेट्स हैं ये वहाँ पर एक कवरिंग बना देते हैं. They form a covering so that there is no loss of blood. Clear? Now coming to the lymph tissue fluid that we've spoken about. First we have spoken about the blood. Now we'll come to the lymph. See, when blood passes through the capillaries, let's suppose this is your capillary. Okay, now blood is passing through it. So what happens? In between two cells there is a little space. This fluid goes out of the capillaries and it fills into the spaces between the cells. So this is called your lymph or the tissue fluid. This is also called as extracellular fluid. Okay, we call it as interstitial fluid also, and we call it also tissue fluid or extracellular fluid also. Right, everyone? And this basically contain the digested fat. RBCs are not absent in this fluid. RBCs are not present, and it is basically a straw colored. Right? It is straw colored. RBCs are absent, and it contains digested fat. Okay, it contains digested fat. Now coming to the lymph capillaries in the tissue spaces, we can easily look into it. See, this is your arteriole which is going. Okay, this arteriole is going. Okay, everyone. Now this, you can see there is a network of capillaries which is called your lymph capillaries. Green color जो दिख रहा है आपको, ये lymph capillaries है. And then they will bring back the lymphatic vessel में आ जाएगा सारा का सारा fluid, and then it will be transported back into the vein. Okay, same way आप ये red color में जो आपका portion है, that is your arteries, the capillaries. A network of capillaries is there. So in between the network of capillaries, there is a network of lymph capillaries also. Clear? So there is an elaborate network of vessels called the lymphatic system. This lymphatic system will collect this fluid and will drain back into the major veins. So, and this fluid we call it as lymph, and this system is called lymphatic system. So your lymph is a colorless or a straw colored fluid. This is sometimes we refer to as straw colored, and it contains specialized lymphocytes. It carries the nutrients, hormones, and it carries the digested fat. Okay, it carries digested fat, right, in the lacteals present in the intestinal villi. Now coming to your homework, dear students, first of all you will make notes of this topic and you will read the page numbers 278 to 279. Dear students, this is a very interesting topic. So I hope you will enjoy reading it, and there is you can say not only enjoy, but if there is any doubt that you have, you will send your personal queries to me also, right? Okay, so that's all for today, dear students. Bye everyone.